Okay, so we've got this collection of articles, and they're all talking about a recent trip Harry and Meghan took with Archie and Lilibet to Disneyland.
Right, and the angle seems to be that this wasn't just, a standard family vacation.
Exactly. The sources are really digging into how it connects back, maybe deliberately, to a pretty significant trip Harry took as a kid with Princess Diana.
So our goal here is to unpack the details from the sources on both trips, the recent one and the historical one, and see what connections they're making.
Let's start with the recent visit then. Based on the reports, this happened around early June 2025.
At Disneyland, Anaheim, California.
Yeah, and the timing was linked to Lilibet's 4th birthday. Meghan actually posted about it.
As the Instagram post. A video montage, I think.
That's the one. Posted June 6th, captioned 2 days of pure joy. It even had that Peggy Lee song, It's a Good Day.
And the sources picked up on some visual details from that montage, didn't they?
They did. Like, the family dressed pretty casually, wearing Mickey ears, standard Disney gear.
The kids' faces weren't really shown, but you could see their red hair. And there was one shot of Lilibet barefoot, apparently.
And the activities, too. The articles list quite a few specifics mentioned or shown.
Let's see. Tiana's Bayou Adventure was mentioned. That's the revamped Splash Mountain.
Right. Also, Space Mountain, Dumbo, Star Wars, Rise of the Resistance, and they spent time in Cars Land.
Sounds like a busy couple of days. Yeah. They met characters, too. Elsa, stormtroopers.
Yep. And ate classic park food, corn dogs, pickles. And for Lilibet's birthday, the sources mentioned a special cake.
The Little Mermaid one, right? 2 tiers.
That's it. So a pretty detailed picture of the recent trip from the sources.
Okay, so now the historical connection. This is where, according to the articles, it gets particularly interesting.
Definitely. The sources immediately bring up that trip Princess Diana took Harry and William on.
But that was Walt Disney World in Florida back in August 1993. So different coast, different park.
And the timing was significant, too. Harry was, 8? William was 11?
And it was just a few months after Diana and Charles had separated. So Diana took them on her own.
The sources really highlight how different that trip was in terms of, exclusivity.
Yeah, they apparently got an exclusive ride on Splash Mountain. Used VIP tunnels to get around.
And Diana herself was apparently a fan of Splash Mountain. That's a key detail the reports mention.
And William, he was apparently obsessed with Space Mountain. The sources say he rode it something like 12 or 14 times.
Yeah, apparently enough that his security guard felt sick afterwards.
There was even that little anecdote from a waiter at the Grand Floridian.
Oh, right, recalling them as being very nice, very well behaved, and Diana as a sweetheart. Nice detail.
So those are the key elements of the 1993 trip as laid out in the sources.
Okay, so connecting the two. How are the reports framing this recent trip as a sort of recreation?
Well, the main parallel they draw is the Splash Mountain connection.
Right. Harry writing the new version, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, with his own kids, Archie and Lilibet.
Just like he rode the original with his mom and brother all those years ago.
And the other big one is Space Mountain. The recent photos apparently showed Harry and Meghan riding it together.
Which directly echoes William's marathon riding session back in '93.
Exactly. So the sources are really emphasizing this full circle narrative. That specific phrase comes up.
Linking his past, that specific memory with his mother and brother, to his present life with his own wife and children 31 years later.
It's presented as quite a deliberate act of revisiting that past.
And if you pull back and look at the bigger picture presented in these articles, it really leans into this theme.
The theme of revisiting childhood touchstones.
Yeah, but specifically experiencing them again with your own children. The sources frame this trip, especially its public sharing on social media, almost as a conscious mirroring.
Mirroring that key event from his childhood with Diana.
Exactly. It's positioned as Harry revisiting that part of his personal history, integrating it into his family's story now, and maybe sharing that particular connection publicly.
So, wrapping this up, we've dived into the source details on this Disneyland trip.
And seen how the reporting connects this seemingly simple family outing pretty tightly to a specific moment from Harry's past.
It definitely makes you think, doesn't it, about how those places or experiences from our own childhoods can gain new layers of meaning.
Especially when you share them with your own kids. The familiar becomes something else, something new again.
And it adds another dimension entirely when those personal moments are also part of a much larger public story, a story that these sources are clearly keen to tell.